Hey, good Friday morning to you. Looking at Daniel chapter 6, beginning in verse 4, a passage that many children learned long ago is about Daniel in the lion's den. But I wonder if we don't need to hear the story again and know that it's true and know that we'll be tested just as Daniel was. Here's the story, beginning in verse 4. It says, "So the governors and the satraps thought to find some charges against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find no fault or charge, because he was faithful, nor was there any error or fault found in him. Then these men said, We shall not find any charge against this Daniel, unless we find it against him concerning the law of his God. So the governors and the satraps thronged before the king and said thus to the king, King Darius, live forever. All the governors of the kingdom, the administrators, the satraps, the counselors, and advisors had consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whoever petitions any god or any man for 30 days, except you, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, so that it cannot be changed according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which does not alter. Therefore King Darius signed the written decree. Now, when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went home, and in his upper room, with his windows open toward Jerusalem, he knelt down on his knees 3 times that day and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as was his custom since early days." So I'll stop there and just kind of a little background. Daniel was serving. He was the young boy, the young that was carried away captive, found favor before God, found favor with the king, and lived and honored the king, was raised up. The king looked with him on favor. The others didn't like that. He was in this foreign land, so far from home, and yet he decides he's going to live and honor God. And they know the only way they can get after him is his relationship with his God. I want you to notice that even after the decree is passed, that those that would pray to someone besides a man would be thrown into a lion's den. And Daniel, as his habit was, goes and prays 3 times that day and gives thanks to God. I wonder if we have that kind of faith to give thanks to God, even when we know that the world's turned against us, even when we know that others deny him. I wonder if we would continue to be faithful in giving him thanks for the privilege of knowing him and serving him. Well, just real quick, the rest of the story. Daniel's thrown in the lion's den. Daniel knows the king's been tricked. Daniel doesn't hold it against the king. And the next day, the king comes early to see if Daniel has survived. He can't change what he has done. Sometimes our government, our people, those around us make an error that we can't change, but God can still carry through. So he says in verse 21, Daniel says to the king, O king, live forever. My God sent his angels, shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me, because I have found innocent before him. And also, king, I've done no wrong before you. I pray today that you'd be found doing no wrong before God, no wrong before man, that you would honor God, and that you would honor and do what you should. What a wonderful story Daniel gives us to remind us that we need to be faithful in our service, that we need to be faithful and before man, that they too would turn. You read the rest of the story there in King 6, and you will find that it changed and affected the king. It also affected those who had accused Daniel. So you honor God this day. Know that you're being prayed for. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.